Jacent, if a brother walked in there and said, yo, I got like $150,000 in debt, are you shooting him down? Oh!
But listen, I ain't get out of all this $90,000 in debt to come on take on your debt. The heck? What do I look like?
That's the intro right there, bro.
Yo, what's going on, family? It's your boy, Anthony Oneal, and welcome back to the table where we're having a real, relatable, and relevant conversation with real people. And I do not want to delay this one because I'm pumped about today because we have a real woman on Zoom with me today. Jacent, we're going to get straight into this. I met you about a few weeks ago, and you have already paid off nearly $90,000 in debt at the age of 29. Am I correct here?
Yeah, it's actually over 90,000 now, and I'm wrapping it up.
So how much are you wrapping up?
I think it'll probably be between 90 to 95 by the end of it in 3 years. And so I decided when I was 27 that I needed to clean up my act. And from there on, it was just scorched earth, you know?
Scorched earth. So you paid off nearly $100,000 in a matter of 3 years. Break it down. What was it, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, was it cars? Was it student loans? What was it?
So it was a mixture, mainly credit cards and student loans. And, you know, you don't just wake up in that much debt. And so it was kind of a progressive process where I accumulated more and more over time. And it's difficult because, you know, the year that my father passed away was the same year that I also got divorced. And that was preceding the debt. And so it was an accumulation of being in school and mental health stuff and just trying to take the easy way out in some ways, if that makes sense, not paying attention. And so that was 2014. And it wasn't until 2017 is when I decided, you know what, I got to do something about this. I wasn't supposed to go in debt in the first place. I used to go.
But that's normal. That's normal for us to go into debt, especially in our 20s. I mean, what do you mean you wasn't supposed to go into debt?
Well, I used to go to Central Christian here in Las Vegas, and I actually saw Dave Ramsey at Central Christian when I used to sing there. Okay. And I think I used to have his book, More Than Enough, or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest and say I didn't finish the book, and I didn't get on a plan. I was like 18, 19 at the time, and I didn't have any debt at that time. Okay. And then I just let life happen to me. So the absence of adopting a plan meant defaulting to what the world and what society says.
Wait. You say that again. You got to say that one again. The absence of not having a plan is what?
Default to what society, what pop culture says that you're supposed to do with your life.
Ooh, Jacent is over here dropping bombs on people earlier on. I love it. So, okay. Let's talk. So you got divorced, unfortunately. Sorry to hear that for you. You lost your father the same year. So sorry to hear that for you. But you're doing well now. You're not even 30 years old yet. You got on a plan. So let's talk a little bit about this plan, because the average person watching right now is right around your age, in between 18 and 34 years old, and they're in debt. What plan did you adopt that helped you get out of debt?
So since I had seen Dave Ramsey before, I kind of knew a little bit. I had heard about him. So I dug into that a little bit deeper. It seemed simple enough. I had tried to budget before, and that was a whole hot mess. So that wasn't working out for me. But the 7 baby steps are really simple. It's very clearly laid out. 1, save your emergency fund as long as you're current on all your bills. 2, debt snowball. 3, save your 3 to 6 months emergency fund. Then you do 4, 5, 6, and 7. And so,
she know it all. She know it all. You don't need me on the show no more. She know it all. I love it. Go ahead, just sit. My sister over here killing it, boy. Okay, keep on going. I'm sorry. I just got excited. Keep on going.
Yes, that's what it is. You have to get excited. You have to decide, and then you have to act. And honestly, the year 2016, I think I only made like $17,000, $18,000 in that year. And January, I decided before I even started paying off debt, I said, I'm going to be debt free by the time I'm 30. I don't know how, but this is what needs to happen. And I think that setting myself up by making the decision changed the way that I looked at things. It changed the way that I moved. It changed my decisions as far as what I was going to do. So it took me, I didn't get a job until a better paying job, let me say, until October. I didn't start till October of 2017 when I started working at the county, and I tripled my income because I was applying for jobs just everything I could find. I was applying, and I was going on interviews and I was getting them, but it didn't feel like it was the right job. So I was turning down jobs left and right that were good jobs. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I feel like something else is coming. Like, I feel like I need to wait for something. And I did that. And then I found the perfect job. That way I was able to work full-time at Juvie from Thursday to Sunday. And then I worked in private practice and I taught at UNLV Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So for a while I was working like 7 days a week.
Wow. So you went from an income of right around 20, a little less than 20,000 to right around somewhere around 60,000. But that was you working 7 days a week, 2 jobs, grinding. 3 jobs. And how old were you again? 27, you said? About 26, 27?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask this question. Don't get offended. But you're a beautiful, young, 27-year-old working 3 jobs, not out there partying, but you're focused on a plan to get out of debt. Aren't you a little weird?
Oh, so weird. Mm-hmm. I started selling everything in my apartment because I moved in with my best friend to cut my rent down. I was selling things well before I actually moved. So the dining table, gone. The couch, gone.
Wait, you sold the couch?
I was sitting on the floor.
You were sitting on the floor, you said? You're 27 years old and you don't have a couch in your apartment?
Yeah. People would come over and they're like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm getting out of this debt. Like, you want to get you a pillow to sit on if you like. I got a folding chair. Like,
I'm sitting here and I'm laughing, but I'm pumped because you have to get that passionate about your dream, about your vision, about your goals. And you said, no matter what. One of my mentors from right here in Nashville, she said, speak what you seek, not what you see. And you say, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to be debt-free by 30.
Yeah.
And you did everything that you had to do, uncomfortable. I don't know if I would have got rid of my couch. Let me just be real. Okay? Let me just be real with the people watching right now. As a matter of fact, if you really want to get out of debt, will you sell your couch to get out of debt and sit and sleep on the floor? Like, that's real. And let's be real. You're going to be 30 here in the next few weeks. Are you going to hit your goal? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Are you going to hit it?
Yeah, I was kind of worried a little bit there because I switched some jobs and the numbers, I was like, this is going to be kind of close. But thankfully, I'm on track to hit it right on the nail on the head or maybe a little bit early. So we'll see.
Wow. I was reading this article today that came out about a couple of weeks ago, Jacent, and it says the average millennial's net worth is $10,400. And so millennials are technically around 19 to 37, born in 1982 and to 2000. And it says when it comes to money, millennials do have some of the highest student loan debt. It's about $30,000 per millennial, right? So it says some of the main reasons that they don't have a high net worth, number one, is because of debt and student loans. And you are in the millennial bracket. I'm in the millennial bracket. It sounds like, man, by the time you turn 30, you're going to be focusing on a nice little emergency fund and building and investing into your future and building your net worth. Talk to that single, young, successful man or woman right now that's watching. You put hard work in for 3 years, and in the next 30 days, you're going to be debt-free. Number one, how do you feel? And then let's go back and talk about what did you put into place for yourself to make this happen? But how do you feel? in the next few weeks, you're going to be debt free.
Yeah, I feel like I don't think it's sunk in yet. um, so I'm like, what? I was looking at my account the other day. I actually made a payment yesterday. And I think I have like 3K left on my last student loan. And I'm like, to see that number be so small, to me, it's small because I started out with 70 and I ended with 90. That's interest for you. And
Wait. You can't slide over that. You said you started with $70,000 that you borrowed for student loans, but they ended up being 90. So that means you're paying $20,000 in interest?
Between the credit cards and the student loans, that interest will get. That's why I was like, I have to do something because the interest will. I listened to Borrowed Future, and thankfully it came out at a time where I was losing motivation. I was kind of getting tired. I was tired of working so much. So I was like,
hold on. Connor, Kevin, I need you to math for me. I need you to type in $20,000 times that by 30 years on just retirement. Go to Chris Hogan 360 website, figure that math out. I want to know how much money she could have made just off of the interest alone if it would have sat there. Yeah, so whatever that is. Yeah, figure it out. Let me know, because this is 20 grand.
It's crazy. That's how I knew there's no way. So the feeling right now, I'm still kind of intense. So I don't know when it's going to sink in, but it feels good. I'm sure it's going to feel good not to send money to somebody else and be able to keep that money for myself. So that's going to be an interesting transition. I'm just excited, I guess. I'm excited.
Yo. All right. So you're almost there. So you're feeling good. You know what's coming. Let's step back. What were some practical things you put in place as a young, determined millennial that helped you throughout this journey when you felt like giving up? I don't know if it impacted your dating life. We're going to talk about a little bit later on about single life and millennials and money. What were some practical things that you put in place that helped?
Yeah, so definitely having a plan is necessary. The absence of a plan is going to be a regression to whatever the default is. And our default, unfortunately, is not so good. So having a plan, whatever that looks like for a person. Mine was the Dave Ramsey plan because it was clear cut for me. It made sense and it felt doable. So I did that. The budget is not a joke. I did the budget meetings with myself once a month and I referred to the budget. It's my contract with myself about my spending and my commitment.
Wait. Rewind. Rewind. Your budget meeting was a contract with yourself. Break that down a little bit more for people who are watching right now, because I love that. Your budget meeting was a contract between you and yourself, not no one else, but you and yourself. What do you mean by that?
You decide, but then you have to have some contingency in place. You have to have a level of accountability. And the plan helps you to lay out the roadmap to where you want to be. And you have to sign the contract with yourself if you're single. If you're partnered, then that's the contract with you and your partner. But if you're single, you have to be able to be accountable to yourself. And Eric Thomas talks about, nobody wants to look themselves in the mirror and point and, nitpick themselves, but we want to go to the store and buy something and have a guarantee on it. But we're not willing to do that for ourselves. So
E.T., she even know who E.T. the hip hop preacher is, girl. Come on to set. Come on. I like that. It's like, and that's so true. It sounds like for me, when I look at you and I just follow your story, and you have a podcast too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was just talking about that on Friday. I was talking about financial keys to success. Now, I'm not a financial professional, but I'm a mental health professional and I know behavior and psychology. And so I said that the reason why people don't succeed in their finances is because they're flaky. Like you're flaking on your own goals and your own dreams, on your own family, and you're not sticking to a plan. Like you said you wanted to do something, but somewhere down the line, you decided that you were going to call up and be like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to come tonight. I'm not going to show up to work. I'm not going to work the extra hours. I'm not going to fill in the blank. And so when people decide and then you commit and you follow through with action consistently, then you'll be successful because it's about that behavior modification.
When I think of the behavior modification, one of the things I'm starting to tell people is when they interview me and ask me about my story, I switch things up. I used to say I found myself in debt and homeless. And the truth of the fact was I lacked self-discipline. And when it comes to discipline, discipline is the bridge between who you are today and who you want to become tomorrow. And it sounds like for years, you just say, you know what? I'm going to have self-discipline. I'm going to be determined. I'm not going to let nothing distract me. And look at you today. I mean, you are, like, you clearly have discipline. You are clearly running strong. And I'm bringing in Connor because Connor did the math. So with her $20,000 in interest.
Yes, crazy.
How much can she have at retirement just off of the interest alone?
So using Chris Hogan's calculator, link will be in below. You spent $20,000 in interest. If you were to save that or invest that over a 30-year period from the time you were 20 to 50, you would make $376,747.
So
$376,747.
So if she would invest it at $20,000,
yeah, initial balance,
her return would be nearly $375,000
at a 10% interest rate.
That's at a 10% interest rate.
That's at a 10%.
For how long?
For 30 years.
For 30. 30 years. I mean, you could have had another $375,000 just sitting there. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you got to start early.
You paid to the credit card companies, to Sallie Mae, to the federal government, $20,000. And so when you really look at it, you gave them $375,000 because you could have invested into that. And so when we do the math, the average millennial in our age bracket has $10,400. That's their net worth. That means that's what their car may be worth. That's what's in their savings account, what's in their investment accounts. You know, that's everything. If they had to cash flow everything, they got $10,400. And so they talk about, number one, eliminating all debt, which that's what you're doing right now. Then, you know, while you're boosting your income, set aside 3 months of expenses. You actually boosted your income while you were getting out of debt. So you went from $20,000 to $60,000. Talk to that person right now that's saying, I cannot boost my income.
Yeah, I think the limitation is in your mind at the end of the day, because even right now, there's places that are hiring. Now, do you want to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to decide, you have to be able to weigh out the pros and cons of that. And I think it was Lisa Nichols that says you have to be willing to be inconvenienced. So if you're not willing to be inconvenienced,
bro, they
then
ain't
you're
ready
gonna
for
do.
You can take over the show.
They ain't ready for this, bro.
If you're not willing to be inconvenienced, then of course you're not going to be able to do it. But guess what? You have to get uncomfortable. You got to try some things that are maybe outside the box. Be able to stretch within yourself so that you can prove to yourself essentially that you can do whatever it is that you set out for yourself. So it wasn't beneath me with a master's degree to find a job at a grocery store or a Walmart. I was applying everywhere. And that is the energy that I put out. That's why I got back. That's what I believe. That's why I got back what I did, because it's not beneath me to do something that is legitimate work. You know what I mean? So even if someone has a consistent income, still, you need to be on a plan. Just because you have a consistent income doesn't mean you just throw out like, oh, whatever. Well, I only get paid $30K a year, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. No, that's not. You're going to keep digging yourself a deeper hole. So regardless of whether you're able to increase your income or not, you still need to be on a plan. Even if it takes you 10 years to get out of debt, even if it takes you 15 years to get out of debt, that's still 10, 15 years earlier than if it takes your whole lifetime and you die with that debt. It's less about money. I think people get caught up in the money stuff, and it's more about learning how to be disciplined, learning humility. So there's a lot of other aspects that people really find challenging to deal with their finances that have nothing to do with the math and the money itself. But it's possible.
You're 27. You started this journey. You're about to be 30 here in the next few weeks. Why? Like, what was that deep reason to why you wanted to be debt-free? Let's just be real. I know some ladies, they wait for their king, their knight in shining armor to come and to save them and pay off their debt and build their house and to be that financial rock. I'm not saying that's not all ladies. Okay, ladies? That's not all of you. I'm just saying there are some. You know, there are some young ladies out there who are not thinking this way. Why did Jacent change her money mindset and say, I want this now, at an age that the typical 20 20-year-old is not thinking like that?
Yeah, I think that a lot of it has to do with being first generation. So I was born in Uganda, but grew up in the States. And when the older that you get, hopefully, the more you begin to get perspective around the sacrifices people made for you and the opportunities that you have that other people don't because of those sacrifices. And I think that really at the end of the day, it came down to honor and legacy. Both of my parents are not alive anymore. So I lost my mom when I was 5. I lost my dad when I was 24. And to honor their ability, their sacrifice, leaving their country of origin for me to have a different life. It would be disrespectful for me not to take it up a notch, to not live to the fullest, to not be, you know what I mean? Like the best person that I can. Makes me emotional, but it would be disrespectful. And so I have other people in my family, the younger people. I don't have, kids of my own, but it would be disgraceful to not be the role model for them to be able to have opportunities that I didn't have. So it's about standing on the shoulders of the people that came before me, knowing that they did whatever they did in order for me to be where I'm at. Because I could have been in a village. It's not a bad life. I could be in a village in Uganda somewhere. It would have been cool. But they did what they did for me to be here. So I need to exhaust every trail, every path in order to be able to set the pace for those that are younger than me. So when I got my master's degree, I was like, I need my nieces to be able to see me walk across the stage. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's taking it outside of me being focused and selfish about wanting to just be in my 20s in Las Vegas and have fun. Like, that's all well and good. I'm not like looking down on anyone that's doing that, but putting that in perspective with my life, my legacy, what am I going to leave behind? Even if I never have kids, it's about my nieces and nephews. It's about the other young people that look like me, that see me. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That look like you and I and see you and I. Come on, girl. Come on. Y'all, if you just now tuned in, you are here at the table where we're having a real, relatable, and relevant conversation with real people. And I have one of the realest on Zoom with me right now, Jacent. This girl is amazing. And I really want you to hit that subscribe button. And also, I'm going to link her information below. Make sure y'all follow her on IG. Her content is amazing. Her podcast, check out her podcast. I don't want you checking out just me. Let's support everyone who is on a mission.
Bro,
so now since...
If they ain't subscribed by now, they just don't want to hear the truth.
No, they really don't, bro. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. Because, this girl is dropping knowledge. Like, what?
No excuses,
I didn't come listen to her podcast.
No excuses. That's it.
There it is. None. All right, Jacent, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's have a real conversation. And those of you all watching right now, I want you to think about this question and type it below and be real. Y'all know me. I'm not a conservative guy. I want you to put your honest answer below and Jacent, I need your honest answer as well. All right. So a lot of single people in their 20s to 30s are not worried about paying off their debt. They want to look fly. They want to look good. They want to drive the latest cars. Ladies want to have the hair and nails done to the top. How do you think this is going to affect their future dating or marriage or serious relationships? Do you think we can date with a lot of debt? Could you date anyone with a lot of debt?
It's getting more and more challenging to know that people are dealing with that and not feel some type of way. Not like judging them, but it's difficult for me to see that they're in a position and not try to... I've been sending FPU to everybody in my phone. I'm like, it's free. Sign up right now. I'm like, show me that you subscribe. It's because I just believe that it's so necessary for everyone to get themselves in a position that allows them to have peace of mind, to have a plan, to be in control. Because it's not about cash. It's about conditioning and reconditioning your mind so that you can have successful, fulfilling relationships. It can ruin your whole life. It can ruin your marriage, your motherhood, your whatever. It can ruin it because it's debt is robbing you. Essentially, you know what I mean? You're robbing yourself by staying in debt, and there's no excuse to not getting out because there's a way. But I used to work in juvie, okay? So I used to work at the county and work in juvenile detention, and I would only have like 5 to 15 minutes to chat with the kids. And it was a really difficult job because I would see the same kids come in and out. And at first I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, what is this? Same kids from the same neighborhoods that all look the same. So I'm sitting with these kids and I'm like, you need to get it together. Life is like a video game. If you fail on a level, guess what happens?
You repeat
You
it
have
over.
to restart the level. And every level, even if you surpass, even if you pass and go to the next level, guess what? There's going to be another challenge on the next level. And usually as you go up in levels, it gets more and more challenging. It doesn't get easier. And so the lessons that you learn and you figure out as a single person are going to be the lessons that sometimes come back around and look different in your relationships. It's not about money. So it's not about like, you need to be driving the best car and you need to have all of your finance, whatever. That's just a symbol of the level of dedication and sacrifice and commitment that you have. It's about character. So if you can get your character to a certain place as a single person, that just sets you up for success when you're in your relationship. But people think, okay, well, I'll get my relationship and then I'll get it together. Well, now you're putting your old hot mess self with another hot mess person. And now it's a collective hot mess. I don't know what to tell you. This is how people end up in my office. I'm telling you right now.
So wait, just saying, if a brother walked in there and said, yo, you know, what's your name? And you'd be like, I'm good. My name is Jacent. And he'd be like, yo, I know I heard you on the AO show and you talking about this, but you know, I got like $150,000 in debt. Student loans, drive a dope car, you know. Oh, man, I make some money. Are you shooting him down? Oh! Oh, my goodness. Jacent, that was a deep breath. Yo.
I listened to the Dave show and he says you shouldn't. I think he said it before that it's like, you don't have to not get married because you're in debt or whatever.
Right.
But listen, I ain't get out of all this $90,000 in debt to come on take on your debt. The heck? What does it look like?
That's the intro right there, bro. That's it.
What do I look like?
Are you being serious right now? I mean, he looked good. He loved the Lord. He got a nice car. He got a decent job. But the brother man got some debt.
You want me to be really real with you?
Be really real.
So I started dating someone probably a year or so ago.
Okay.
And I wasn't trying to date. I was like, leave me alone. Like, okay. I'm cool.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is what I'm doing. I sent him my whole plan. It's like, there's a PowerPoint. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm one of those type of women. So I was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is what you have to deal with if you are signing up for this. And I said, like, I'm not trying to get married to anybody until I'm out of debt because I'm not going to require for someone else to do what I'm not willing to do. I don't want anyone else to take on what I have. So I want to finish what I set out to do first. And I need you to finish what I'm doing. I'm going to need you to get it together, bro.
So this is an easy question. Are y'all together today?
We are. You know what? He just said yesterday, he was talking about looking for a different job. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Whatever. He's like, I'm trying to get out of debt so I can marry you. And I'm like,
there he is. I want to meet this guy. I want to meet him. He got the PowerPoint presentation. You told him what you're doing. He signed up for it. And look at him now.
And it's not that far out. It's not like it's a long way to go, but it's like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe that's it could be the wrong thing. You know, what am I worth to myself? That's why I'm getting out of my debt, because I know my worth and I'm not going to keep paying I'm not going to throw my money at other people.
Yes.
Because I value myself. And what is it that you value about yourself? What is it that you value in general? What do you believe about the world? And how many people get married and are not in debt? I'm trying to be weird. How many people get into a marriage not in debt?
Come on. No, you're right. You know, that's one of the reasons why I'm working so hard is because, you know, my mother and father, they didn't have a wedding because they couldn't afford it. they didn't have a honeymoon, never been on a honeymoon because they can't afford it. Never went out of the country until my siblings and I sent them out of the country a few years ago because they couldn't afford it. It was a family of 6, me, 2 other siblings, parents, and my grandmother living in a 3-bedroom house in Cali. So I'm sharing a room with my sister and other brother because we just couldn't afford certain things. We didn't do family vacations. And so you're right. How many couples are getting married in debt and cannot afford to do certain things? Or how many couples are getting married and they're doing a $25,000, $30,000 wedding, financing that and coming back into more trouble. And what I love about what you and your young man are doing is you guys are saying, yo, this is where we are, and I want to start off our marriage the right way. If God blesses it, we're going to argue, but finances will not be one of them. Exactly. And so I'm rooting for the both of you all. And so when you come up here to do your debt-free scream, you better bring this man. Because I got to interview him too. Like, bro, how was it? When she sent you the PowerPoint, bro, how was it, bro? Like, and then now you're trying to get out of debt? How? But, and we're laughing, but I'm like, that's real. Now, as a man, I'm like you. Do I want to marry someone with $100,000, $200,000 in debt? No, I don't. But am I going to stop love for it? I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But if she come to me with $100,000, $200,000, like it better be like, I don't know. If it's $200,000 in credit card debt, we got a problem. I'm gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna be real. If she got credit card debt, all consumer debt, like credit card and cars, that means she's fashionable. Now, if she got student loans, it's the same because debt is debt. But I'm like, okay, cool. Oh, okay, all right, bet. All right.
At least let there be a return, right? Be a lawyer, be a doctor, be something that's something that you can get something out of.
Yeah, debt is debt. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, you just signed up for the wrong thing with student loans.
That's how you can tell the difference. Here's the thing. Life's like a video game.
Yep.
You fail, you repeat.
Yep.
You ascend, you have to deal with another challenge. And guess what? Some people are playing for keeps and some people are playing for fun. Are you playing to win or are you just playing because this is a cool little simulation? And it's easy to be able to tell the difference because people are going to show up in a way that and you're like, huh.
If you just now tuned in, you guys, you have tuned into the table where we're having a real relatable and relevant conversation with a real OG right here. Jacent is the truth, you guys. I'm telling you right now, we're going to put her information below. Check her out. Check out her podcast. Check out her Instagram. This is a young lady you want to follow, especially if you a young lady and you're looking for other young ladies to look up to or just to rock with her. Check her out. Because I'm telling you right now, she the truth. And brothers, we single brothers, we need to find someone like her. Bottom line. I don't know about the PowerPoint part, but
better be ready for the lecture, I'm telling you.
Like her man the truth, for real though. Hey, but Jacent, before we jump into this last great fun piece with my boy Connor here, he always asks us like a would you rather question. I want you to tell the people where can they find you, let them know your IG, let them know a little bit about your podcast, because I really want these people to connect with you.
Yeah, so I'm most active on Instagram, and that is Jacent Gems, and that's the same name. That's the same name as the podcast, and you can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. And I just share a lot of information about my own personal journey, and I'm a mental health professional, so I'm always promoting mental health and wellness, and then also financial health and wellness. The podcast is for young creatives who are trying to remove the roadblocks to their success, and so I talk a lot about the mental health stuff, relationships, finances, and I interview somebody once a week to come in and share their gems. So that's where you can find me.
Yo, what's the question for the day?
All right. So this whole thing has been fun. I don't know if I can top this conversation we've had, but Jacent, we usually do like a Save or Cave question. What's cool about this is the viewers at home get to vote in the poll that pops up in the corner as well. So I'm going to ask you, would you rather save money by living in a treehouse, like a super dope treehouse, or an RV?
Ooh. The
Like,
RVs
it can
and
be a modern tree house. It can be like a tiny house in a tree. Or an RV.
they're both actually appealing to me. I might be a weird person.
They are to neighbors too. It's hard.
Yeah, because the RV's mobile, so I could go different places. The tree house is just like, oh, I think I might choose the tree house.
I'm going with it too. As much as I like travel, dude.
I love
I've always
nature.
wanted to live in a tree house. Since I watched Tarzan, man.
Tree house, you got spiders, you got birds,
Oh.
you got snakes, you got
No.
you don't have a toilet,
You're
you don't
thinking
have
of like a tree
you
house.
don't have a
out in
hot
Sandlot,
shower.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have a toilet in the tree house.
said a
this
fancy tree
I'm
house.
talking like a nice tree house. Like
Bruh,
you can
what
live in
nice
it.
tree house, bruh?
Airbnb, tiny house, bro. Like
Oh, you talking about that kind of tree house?
nice. Air conditioned. You can have a fireman's pole that comes down to your four-wheeler, whatever. You got bathroom.
That's the tree house.
Nice. But you can't travel. And you got a nice little forest.
I mean, but if you're talking about that, I'm thinking you're talking about like a tree house in the back of the yard.
No, not a Sandlot. Like,
Oh yeah, I'll do the tree house for real. I'll do that too. That's kind of romantic. Get the wifey up there.
Hey.
Yes, Lord.
It's peaceful too.
It is, and you hear the birds. I mean, you got some AC.
You got the higher ground.
Yes.
Just in case there's people, no one can just.
I'll get a little nervous though, because what if like we have an earthquake or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
You find some strong trees.
Have a cushion at the bottom. Just have a cushion.
You do need to have a cushion.
You got
just
a
in
pool
case
at the bottom. You can just
A pool?
fall in that. A pool. Yeah, hot tub, whatever.
Nah, man. Now you talking about drowning, bro. Nuh-uh. Yo, Jacent, thank you so much for rocking with me today, man. This was an amazing show. I'm so just proud of you and what you're doing.
Thank
you
you.
for, just representing all people well, and especially us millennials, man. You're killing it. Make sure when you pay off that debt, make sure to text me and just let me know so we can get you on the show with Dave. I want you to come and do the debt-free scream because your story is amazing. And I know Dave would love you.
Bro, we got to have her on. If you come and do your debt-free screen, we got to have her on again.
Oh, we're going to bring her and a man. Because hopefully, here's my thing. She come, what if he pay off his debt? What if he propose?
Oh, boy.
What?
We wouldn't do that to you.
I'm like, bro, drop that question. You debt-free? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yo, Jacent, we love you, sis. Appreciate you so much. And, you keep in touch, man, for real.
Thank you so much for all of your inspiration and motivation. I've been following you for years now, and it's really helped to keep me on track and stay on my P's and Q's. So I appreciate you for doing what you do. You never know who's watching.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, for real. That's amazing. Hands down, one of the best interviews I have had. And here's why. Because it bothered me when I read this article that the average net worth of millennials is right around $10,400 net worth. And then when you really do a deep dive into this study, the majority of the millennials are like negative in their net worth. But then we meet this young lady who say, you know what? I do not want to be the norm. I want to be better than the average. And so she said, hey, I'm going to get out of debt. And she told her man, yo, listen, this is the journey I'm going. Are you down or not? And he is down. Listen, there are three things I really want you to focus on. If you're a millennial watching this right now, you're saying, Anthony, I don't have a net worth of $10,400. I'm in debt right now. Okay, cool. This is what I want you to do. Here's number one. I need you to get on a plan. Put a plan on paper. Tell yourself, when will you be debt-free by? All right? Get on a plan. Then number two, I want you to eliminate all your debt, your student loans. Debt is debt, so eliminate every single thing. If you have student loans right now, I want you to go to my website, anthonyoneal.com, and I want you to get my book, the latest quick read that I just released called Destroy Your Student Loan Debt. I'm going to walk you through the process on how to get out of your student loan debt so that way you're not wasting interest. You're not paying back interest and robbing from your future, all right? Then number three, I want you to set aside 3 to 6 months of expenses while you're also even maybe getting and building and boosting your income. You can honestly boost your income on number two while you're getting out of debt. Just like Jacent, she went and got 3 jobs. You go out there and grind. And then the last one, okay? After you set aside that 3 to 6 months, you guys, I want you to invest 15% of all of your income, okay? If you're still working 2, 3, 4 jobs, I don't care. Invest 15%. Your net worth is not going to be the norm. If you're rocking with me, yo boy, no, we are above average because we're real people with real dreams, with real goals. You know what? I'm going to see you on the next video because, boy, next week video, I got something else for you. It's your boy. I'm going to see you on the next video. Peace out.